brakes off?
Bro, I'm fucking.
Back up!
What the fuck you doing, dude?
Get him, Blake. Get your leg. Leonard, are you fucking kidding me, man? Jesus Christ.
I don't know where the stink's coming from.
You don't know where the stink's coming from? Probably from all this shit everywhere, you fucking... Holy fuck. I think this place is working, Jason. Leonard, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm definitely not taking this shit in there. Oh my god.
What's going on with your YouTube? It's your boy King Cobra. What's going on with your YouTube? It's your boy King.
Mother, log off your gambling site and vacate the living room.
Fuck you, bish, I gots to gamble.
I need to do my Godot-centered internet show.
But nobody watches your gay little internet show.
Mother, you leave me no choice. Nobody messes with my gay little internet show. Yeah, alright, welcome back. So, where are we going with this thing? We have the typing of the Godot. It is a typing of the dead clone made in Godot. Wonderful. We have this cripple on a wheelchair. He's rocking around using his text-to-speech to slay these voodoo zombies. We'll go ahead and show a little bit of that. Let's turn on some fucking tunes. So we're marching along. Bird, there we go. Red. We have difficulty maps. I mean, not maps, but difficulty variables on these guys. These are all easy. Let's let this guy hit us one time. We'll say BOO. He hits us. Awesome. We lose some health. So we'll keep going. RED. I think after we kill... Oh no, that's not good. We're getting hit by the boss shooting waves of shit at us. I forgot to disable the boss. Alright, we'll keep going. This is the medium difficulty words, like jungle. Let's see. I think we should have some hard enemies later on if we don't get killed by the boss. Animal. Just gotta keep it moving very fast. Sun, light. Oh no, we have 1 health left. Balance. Oh, you fucker. Yeah, I suck at my own game. Alright, but we have one more enemy up there. Let's just skip right past to him and then we'll take a look at the boss too. We don't have any sound. I was trying to make everything in Godot. All these are made in Godot. All that shit's made in Godot. All the meshes and whatnot. I was trying to make everything inside Godot, but that's probably not going to work so well for the speech or whatever. So, I mean not speech, but like sound effects and other shit. We're going to have to do something. How's it going, Bob the Darkest Fairy? I think my idea for this fucking thing now, what I want to do is put a multiplayer server on this and then have 2 people battle as the guys in wheelchairs, and you have to type to like fire a gun at each other. So we'll like rig up a gun, we'll just put a little barrel on top of this thing, and then you can square off against somebody else by typing shit out like that. I want it to be like, you know, typing out like, fuck you, you're a fucking loser, like 1,000,000 times, and whoever types it faster, it's dealing more damage to the other person. That would be like fucking awesome. It's just like F slur, F slur, F slur, F slur. That's gonna be perfect, dude. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Hollow. My videos have been a lot of help. Yeah, I haven't been making as many, but like whenever I get like something that super frustrates me, I try and make a video on it because I'm like, people are gonna, there's like no videos on this and I can't figure it out. But if I see like other people making videos, I'm like, there's no point because my channel doesn't really get views. I just do the shit for like, you know, as a hobby. But yeah, like I did one video about C# libraries because nobody had a quick way to do it, and I was like, fuck it, we're just gonna do this video. Alright, but I did find another person's video that I was gonna follow, and it's this multiplayer Godot 4 in 3 minutes. So we're just gonna watch this really quickly, and I'm going to turn off the artless music because they have their own artless music on here. We're in for a very special treat. I'll start from the beginning. Create a basic player. It's only like 3 minutes long, so that's why I chose this one. So create a basic player. I guess whatever. I'll have this open on the other screen. I have a basic player. Really not what I need though. I guess I'll just make a little 2D. I want to make like a 2D environment for battling over here, so I'll do that. We'll make the basic player. Oh, fuck, what was that? No, don't worry about it. Basic. player. We'll follow their guide. We'll add a little sprite 2D. Okay. What's next, bud? Velocity. So we're actually doing a character body 2D. I don't really want to do that though. I just want to do this. I guess I don't really need that. I just need to be able to receive signals between the two. Alright, so let's set up that fucking test scene. There we go. Alright. I don't know if I'm going to scrap this. I'm just going to leave it off to the side for now. We're going to start up a new one. We're going to call it multiplayer test. Okay, and then we're adding 2 buttons. We got a host and a join. So we're going to say button. This one will be the host. And we'll control D and we'll say join. Cool. I've seen this setup before. I've just never really done much multiplayer. So we're gonna make a new. All right, whatever. I know how to do that. I probably should have filled this in. Actually, this one's gonna be join. Joints, and down here, this one gonna be host. Hosty. All right. We'll save that. We're gonna make a new folder and call it multiplayer test. There we go. Multiplayer test.tscn. Yeah, why not? What else will we save it as? Okay, so did we make a script? We did not. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we're gonna have to obviously put the press in here. So we're gonna press these buttons. Really pressing them. Putting the screws to them. So what are we doing next? Peer equals enet multiplayer peer.new. Okay, let me I'll shrink that down so that you can't see it at all and I can barely see it, and then it hides behind that. Very good. Very good. This is going very well. Alright, let me move this to the other screen. So what's he got on this fucker? He's got peer var peer equals ethernet, enet multiplayer peer. Awesome. And that's going to be .new. So I guess this is like I don't know, what the hell is this thing? A multiplayer peer implementation using the enet library. Oh, that's one of those smart people libraries. A multiplayer peer implementation that should be passed to multiplayer API. Okay. Oh, thank you. Whatever. Let's continue on. So we're getting a reference to our player, it looks like. Create server. Okay. Let's try that. On what was it? Host pressed. That shall be peer.create server. Peer.create server and 135. That's what it says to do in the video. All right. Oh, so excited for the stream today. Thanks. Yeah. I'm pretty hyped too. I think this should be fun. Hold on, let me go back a second. I wasn't paying attention. Set the multiplayer peer to the peer we created. Okay. So I guess multiplayer is like some type of. Hold on, my fucking microphone's moving around a lot. I'm sure it's buzzing or some shit. Okay. So multiplayer.multiplayer peer. I guess this is kind of like using engine. Wait, multiplayer peer, call it as a function. Oh, it's not a function, it's just something that we're gonna set. It's just I guess it's a variable we need to set. So this is like using engine, I guess, right? No, because that's a singleton. So what does that make this? This is a what? Oh, so that's the actual multiplayer API, and we just reference it with that. Okay. That makes sense, I guess. I'm not even really going to think about it too much because I think we just need to know the dummy stuff of how to do stuff. We don't really need to know everything. Peer connected dot connect, and so we just we're adding this to a signal. Add player. Add player. Holy fuck. I got my... Dude, what am I doing? Alright, add player. Sorry, I was thinking of two different things. And then we need to make that function, obviously. Okay, func add player. Sorry, I'm like following this tutorial on the other screen. It's hurting my brain to jump between the screens. Print. Oh, so we need an ID. We'll say ID equals 1. That's what they have over here. We're following along. This add player is for the host to play. Okay, alright, that makes sense. Emitted when a multiplayer's peer connects with a new peer ID. So that is like a thing that's already... I was wondering where that int was coming from. Okay. So I guess I should go ahead and make my scene, my player scene, whatever. Let's do it, and then maybe we'll move it around first, and then we'll add in the ability to like keyboard battle. Like true fucking heroes. Basic player, what did we need here? We're just gonna go multiplayer, let's go to our multiplayer thing. Multiplayer test. And we'll make a new folder, player. I spilled shit all over my keyboard, and now my keyboard has issues, so sometimes letters don't type so good. Actually, we can leave that. Basic player.gd, save, create. Let's go ahead and save this scene as well. There we go. And in the sprite, we're just going to add our guy's face. Yeah, words per minute. Yeah, that was kind of... I don't think anyone's done this. I don't know, maybe people have done this concept before. It's not like that outlandish, but it seemed interesting to me when I was sitting around at work. So I was like, we're going to fucking do that. We'll just scale them down. There we go. That's our player. Oh, that's right. I forgot how 2D works. We got to keep them back over here. Let's just scale them down to like 0.25. There's our guy. All right. And what did he have for this script? Sorry, I'm going to have to go back. For the player, just a basic velocity equals input vector. All right. I don't do much 2D, so I'm actually gonna have to kind of rely on what he's doing. Func physics process. Let's see. We got velocity. Oh, we need to change this. Change type to what was it? A character body. Character body 2D. So now we can say velocity. It's going to give us some errors. I'll fix it in a second. Input dot Get vector, and we'll say character body 2D. There we go. Velocity equals input dot get vector, and it looks like we can do UI left, UI right, UI up, and UI down. Okay, and then we will move and slide. Move and or slide. Nice. Alright, we'll get back to where I was. We got our multiplayer pier. We're throwing it into the server. What did you do over here? That's for the host. Wonderful. It's raining on my chimney. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Sounds really cool. Okay, let's do that. Let's add that little player name. Is that all you're gonna do? Oh, that's right. We need to do this part up here. Let's go back to the multiplayer test, and we'll say we just need a reference to our character so that we can plug it onto that scene. Player scene equals. Actually, I think we can just do packed scene. Wonderful. Packed scene. I guess we're just telling it what type it is, and then we plug in a type. I didn't know you could do that, but apparently you can. It makes me feel very cool. So we'll go here, and then we will quick load. I guess we'll grab our basic player.tscn. And there we go. There's our guy. Nice. And so then we want to say add player. So we then instantiate it. So var player equals player scene dot instantiate. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Player scene dot instantiate, and I guess we're going to add it as what? I have no idea. Player. He's setting the name of the player equal to the ID. That seems like a wise idea. And we got this call deferred. I think it just means do it when you can, right? Yeah. I think you always have to do that when you're syncing stuff with multiplayer, actually. I watched a few videos, but like literally probably absorbed no information. Okay. That makes sense. That all looks good to me. We'll keep it going. We will create a client with IP address and port. I am using localhost for this tutorial. I guess I'll use that as well. And then I'll expose my IP address for all of you to see. I don't know, if anybody sees me doing something really stupid, let me know. But I think I should be okay. Peer dot create client local host 135. That's the port we chose earlier. Let's see what else he's doing. And set the multiplayer peer to peer. Didn't we already do that? Didn't we do that right here? Oh, create client. Alright, let's just do it and we'll figure it out later. Multiplayer peer multiplayer peer equals peer. I guess we're setting the context here. I don't know. That doesn't seem. It seemed weird that we're doing it in two different places, but like I said, I don't really know this that well. So peer.create client, we got that. We have that. Awesome. Oh, we have to add the multiplayer spawner. So we'll say multiplayer spawner. Awesome. Multiplayer spawner. So it should have this on there, and he set the basic player to the auto spawn list. Okay. So auto spawn list, add elements. We'll add the basic player in the multiplayer test. Oh, I think we need the this one. There we go. Go back to the player scene. We need a synchronizer. Okay. Player. Synchronizer. Create. It's going. Add property to sync. I am only choosing position for this tutorial. Ah, I see. Okay, let me do that real quick. What do you say? Multiplayer synchronizer. Add property to sync. Basic player. Okay. And then he chose the position. Open. Alright, that looked good to me. Enter tree. Whenever we enter the tree, we're going to set multiplayer authority. I have no idea what that does. Alright, but we'll give it a shot. Func. Enter tree. Set multiplayer authority name.to int. So I guess we set our name when we're spawned in by the spawner, and that's our ID. So then we set our authority with our ID. What does this actually do? It sets the node's multiplayer authority to the peer with the given peer ID. So I guess it just checks whatever our ID is, and then like gives us our permissions and whatever. That would make sense to me. If okay. Is multiplayer. User can only control this node if the user has multiplayer authority. This is to avoid controlling other players' character. Oh. Okay, so it's not like a global multiplayer authority, it's like an authority for this node in particular. Yeah, I haven't really messed with it much, Godot's thingy, but we're messing with it now. We're poking the hornet's nest. Okay, so if multiplayer is multiplayer authority, then we will change the velocity let's bump up the speed a bit. Okay, we're gonna play both of them. Reload them, and I guess we'll try it. All right, let's see. Oops, I was gonna play the main scene. We're gonna have to open up another version of Godot. Alright, I'm sure this is going to be an absolute pain in the ass. Let's do it this way. You're over here, and we want you over here. Oh, you fuck. Oh man, now my entire screen is all fucked up. Cancel. We don't need that shit. We want you. I'm just going to put this on my other screen for now, and we'll get everything going. Let me fix my OBS. There we go. Okay. So we're going to run the multiplayer test over here. And I'm going to run it in the other one over... we're going to reload, cancel, whatever. Just leave me alone. Let me run this shit. So we're going to say host on this screen. Allow access. You're good. I trust you. Can we move our guy? Very slowly. I should probably increase the speed. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, you fuck. Yeah, this is the problem with having two of these open at the same time. You're going to keep getting those things come up over and over again. And it's like, do you want me to save to the file? Like, yeah, you fuck. I think I hit some button over here. Okay, so what do we got to do? We got to make him faster. And then I have to restart the whole fucking thing again. I guess eventually I kind of want to move this to like a little local internet, and I got this computer hooked up over there, and my idea was to use both computers so I don't have to keep doing that dumb shit. But we'll see. Here, we'll go here. Oh, that's right, we gotta say times 2 Godot editors. I'm doing 2 Godot editors. Is that not what he meant? So let's see. I'll run this one. And then what I was doing is closing it, opening another Godot session, going up to this. Is this the wrong way? This is probably like the dumbest way to do it. And then we go here and we run this one as well. So I'll host on this. I can do multiple instances of the game in one editor. Oh, I see. I see. And I join. And oh, we do have 2. It is the wrong way. Wonderful. So let's try it the right way real quick. So I stopped getting all of these errors. Get the fuck out of here. I don't need all this guy. Get out of here with that. Reload from the fucking disk. Reload it. See what happens. Just do whatever the fuck you want. Alright, now so how do I do that? How do I make 2 of these editors appear? I just hit it again. Oops. Debug. Editor. Do we just run it multiplayer test? I guess I'll have to ask ChatGPT. Alright, ChatGPT, don't fail me. It's going to take forever to load, of course. Why not? Why shouldn't it? Okay. How do I open 2 Godot sessions on the same editor? Yeah, I don't think you can do that. It's saying you can't do it. It's a drop down. I think you can pick up to 4. I don't know. Customize run instances. This is probably one of them. Editor. Editor settings. Editor doc. Editor layout. Project. Scene. Let me fucking Google it. Let's see. How do I open multiple Godot instances to test multiplayer? Multiplayer. All right.
Did you know that inside of Godot Engine you can easily run multiple instances of your game without having to export it?
Wow.
All you need to do is open up your project, head up to the top left to the debug dropdown, go down to the bottom option, run multiple instances.
There's no way I missed that. There's no fucking way I missed that. So it was in here somewhere. Oh, enable multiple instances. There we go. 2. Okay. Yeah, we did it. I figured it out, dude. I don't know. I guess they love to change the UI up like every single time, so I don't blame anyone for not being able to figure it out. The UI is always like moving all over the place in Godot, I feel like. I think I can figure it out now, though. I appreciate you for telling me that it works, though. I didn't know that it worked. Oh, we got 2 of them. Let's host one. We're going to move the host up over here. And if I join in, it looks like I'm joined to the host. I can move, and I click over here. Can I move? I cannot move. Let's run it again. Host. We'll move him out of the way. We'll take our second instance and we'll join. He goes over here. If I'm still in this, can I move? No. No movement. But if I click back over here, I can move my original guy. And I also don't see anything appear on this screen. Let me see. Let's see what the video's doing. Oh no. What did he do that I didn't do? Let's take a look. He's got basic player, sprite 2D, multiplayer synchronizer. I'm pretty sure we did that part. Debugger, what's the debugger say? We should probably check that out. It's red, but oh, there we go. Node not found relative to root. Process, simplify, path, parameter, node is null. So what are you talking about here? on join pressed. So this is where it's...
Think of every component you build as your own Godot node. Ask yourself this: what is the minimum set of reusable?
I was watching that, you fuck. Oh, start. Oh, none of the above. Alright, let me just go over here. Let me ask ChatGPT if he knows what this error means real quick. The multiplayer instance is already active. Why would my... I guess because we set ID equal to 1. ID equals 1. Player.name, call deferred, add child, connect. Let me open it over here. I'm going to make this bigger so I can actually see it. So this is exactly the same. Create server, multiplayer peer, connected, connect, add player. We add our host. Instantiate. I spelled it correctly this time. Call deferred, on join pressed. Localhost 135. Okay. I wonder if I go to customize run instances. Oops. Override main launch arguments, feature tags. I don't think any of that matters. I don't think we have any difference here in this script. Oh, that's right, you guys can't see that. But for real though, his said, where's it at? Open the same project in another editor, yeah. Play both of them. Thanks for watching. Alright, well, if we run it again, we'll run that current scene, see what we get. We already have our 2 instances. We're going to host over here, move him down, and we'll join over here. And we still can't move anything, but if we click back, we can still move our other one. And I'm pretty sure the script is the same. Let me Google it real quick. We'll see what we get. Where's my... what was I gonna say? One of my... hold on. What's my error? Parameter node is null. Node not found. The multiplayer 1 multiplayer synchronizer relative to root. Multiplayer synchronizer. Let's check, is it in the right place? He makes character body. Alright, we already saw that. Multiplayer synchronizer. When the player enters the scene tree, we set the multiplayer authority to the name/ID. Which we did do. And we also set the path position here. Let me see if I need to click those. Maybe I didn't click those. Multiplayer synchronizer. Spawn always. Okay. So we have this tracked. Name.toInt. Velocity times 100. Okay, that's all good. When the player enters a scene tree, we set the multiplayer authority to the name/ID. Did we do that? If is multiplayer authority. So yeah, I think that's the problem. I think that's why it's going to work in two different editors, but not in two different... let's take a look at multiplayer authority real quick. Returns true if the local system is the multiplayer authority of this node. So no, it refers to the... Yeah, so it refers to the system. So probably... I feel like they're both... It's just saying that obviously this one is not part of the like a different computer or whatever. I'm going to try running two different editors. We're going to try it that way. So we're going to go to project. Just because that's what he did in the video. So we're going to see if maybe that works. It didn't work the first time, but you never know. So we're going to run this one. Not that one. We're going to go to multiplayer test. We're going to run it. And then I'm going to go over here, open up another Godot. We're going to see if it works this way. Typing in the Godot. Let's go over here and run it. And so we're going to go back to our original one and we'll host and we'll move him down over here. And then we'll click on the other screen that I don't think you can see and we'll say join. And so it works down there now. If I click over here, so I still can't move or anything. And if I click over here, I can move again as the multiplayer host. So it doesn't seem to matter whether we do it with two different editors or one different editor, we get the same thing. What happens if I join again? Can I then move? What happens if I host? Can I then move? No. We can still move this guy. Interesting. So we're going to have to close one of these, cancel, cancel, cancel. Yeah, I'll be right back. I really have to use the bathroom, but yeah, I guess we'll figure this shit out. Let's put on some music. Yeah, we're going to have to do some good old-fashioned Googling. But yeah, I'll be right back. If anyone knows, let me know. Oh my god. Reload from the disk. Whatever. Yeah, I'll be back in like 10 seconds. Alright, yeah. Now I'm just getting coffee. Yeah, I'm still not sure what's going on, but I think we'll be able to figure it out. Let's ask ChatGPT. We'll do some good old-fashioned Googling. I'm sure we can figure it out with the combination of those two. Just gotta slam down some more caffeine. I guess the coffee's still warm. It's fucking frigid. We're gonna heat it up in the microwave. Hell yeah. It's a microwave coffee night. Alrighty, Rooney. You need to move or I'm gonna step on you. You're like right in where I'm trying to fucking work. Hold on. This is my other cat. Who's a shitty kitty. Yeah, she's super clingy and annoying. Likes to hang by my feet and she tries to get stepped on like an idiot. Alright, so there's got to be something that's not getting connected, and I really do think it is our, let me look at the player, basic player. We got the multiplayer spawner. What's, oh, spawn path. I guess we never assigned that. What the fuck is that? Oh, probably this. That could be it. That could be part of it. Oh, we never even set a spawn limit. Yeah, there we go. Let's try that. Route that the player spawned under. Well, that would make sense why it wouldn't spawn. Yeah, that would make... Yeah, I can't believe anyone didn't say anything. Alright, it's all your fault. Okay. We'll go here. We're going to say... We're going to host over here. And we'll move him off to the side. And we'll join in. Oh. You know, it actually worked. I did not expect that. It's pretty fucking based. Alright, is it moving on the other screen? Hell yeah. Now we can get our fucking our battle going. Alright. So. Nice. Oh damn, I should probably get the BRB off the screen. Because we are BRB. Appears to be working. I'm actually pretty happy. I didn't think we were gonna get this going tonight. I was probably gonna. I was like, yeah, it's probably gonna be another 10 minutes, then I'm gonna fucking rage quit, and we'll figure it out and come back tomorrow. Okay, yeah. Let me get my coffee. We'll celebrate with some coffee. Yo, I left some coffee with some milk in it in my brother's car for about a week, and he got so fucking mad. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he has every right to, but it was still really funny. It was a big old undrank cup of coffee, left it in there. I'm sure it got really nice and moldy because it was half and half and not creamer. Out in the hot sun all day. He was not happy about that at all. I got to this part, but implementing pre-existing features to multiplayer has a lot of bugs. Yeah, luckily we really don't have that many features. I guess the basic player... I guess most of our stuff's gonna be in here. I accidentally left out some seafood in the garage freezer. Nice. Hell yeah. You're gonna want to go out there and eat that up as fast as possible. So basically what I want to do is have the player be in this scene. Let's look at our 2D scene. So we host and then we join in. Yeah, instead of moving around, we want to battle with our keyboard. So we're going to have some type of phrase. So let me do this. This is going to be stuff that they're both going to see. So we'll do a text edit. I think that should be on our player, actually. And then we'll do a control here with just a label that shows what you're supposed to type. No, because it's all got to be specific to their screens. Yeah, so we should do this on the player, right? And tell the player what to do. Let's ask ChatGPT. We'll see what he thinks. I pay $20 a month to do this. So, yeah, we're going to bring this over here. I have a touch typing battle game with Godot multiplayer. How should I handle checking the input of the players to see who typed better? Thoughts? Let the client handle the local input timing for responsiveness and the server handle verification and scorekeeping to prevent cheating. Okay. Each player gets a target word. Could I show the enemy and the player text? I guess how fast would it be? Whatever, let's just get to this point. I guess I kind of have a better idea. Let the client handle local input timing for responsiveness and the server handle verification and scorekeeping to prevent cheating. So we can do a few things. Let's just go here. I'm gonna go to my keyboard. Well, not that. I meant the fucking I'm retarded. Keyboard manager right here. So I'm going to grab some of this, and we're going to put it onto our player. This is what we use to grab the input. So I'm gonna just copy and paste, and then we'll get rid of some of the stuff that we don't need. So we use that to check for spaces. We don't need a current word. So we can bring all of this back. Actually, we are going to need a current word. Yeah. So we'll do add on ready var current word equals null. Owner of the Kiwi Farms, null. What are we gonna do here? Current word. Oh, my fucking mistake. There you go. How do you like that, you fuck? Active enemy. Okay, so we're gonna have to be updating the word here. So we'll move this to a text box. Let's go ahead and say, I guess we'll put this on the player for now. Label, create. Let's go back to our 2D. We'll make the label on top of our guy here. We'll make it like this big. I guess we could just make this the phrase, kind of like the game right now. Here is what we need to type. Okay, perfect. Yeah, dude. I mean, what is the problem with him and the VTubers? They're beefing. Him and the fucking... I love to keep up with that shit sometimes when he's spurging on the VTubers. And it's like, I don't know, like, the VTubers are all like a bunch of fucking idiots. And then Medicare did that stream with Kirsha or whatever. That was pretty good. I mean, not that I have a beef with the VTubers or whatever, but it's such a weird concept to me to like hide behind a little anime avatar. It's so fucking strange. Especially when you like hook it up. I guess I was like used to the PNG tubers of old YouTube. That's too much. It's too Zoomer brain for me. Where's Sargon? So here's what we need to done type. I don't know why I'm moving this all around. I'm thinking of all the old internet nostalgia. The Killstream and the Kumite and all that shit that I loved. It's all gone. Okay, so we want to update the current word. And then we gotta grab this. I'm just gonna grab that function from our enemy. That way I don't have to do any typing myself. Oh, so all we do is pass in the word and subtractificate from the two words, basically. Nice. Yeah. Dude, that would be really funny if Sargon had a little VTuber. My country's fucked. Ah, we're all gonna die. Here's my little anime guy. We shouldn't have let in all those Muslims because now we're all gonna get murdered. Here's my little VTuber. Yeah, for real. Alright, so what are we trying to do here? Update the board, that's right. So all we're doing... Did we already subtract the words? Update, I guess we already did, right? Yeah. So all we have to do is set that equal active enemy, update word, current word. So instead of calling that function, we just need to do this. Yeah, I saw that the guy from Iran had set out some type of, I guess a fatwa on a fatwa or whatever on our president, and it's like, yeah, how's that gonna go for you, dude? You were hiding in a bunker with a 480p webcam, and you're like, no, I will get you. It's like, dude, I don't think so, buddy. I don't know, I saw that today and that made me laugh. Alright, so yeah, we just need to reference this label. We should actually probably name this something useful. So let's name it like, I guess we'll call it type text, player type text, player type text, in case I need to do another label or something, and then we'll just reference it here, player type text, update the word, current word. We don't have that, so all we need to do is just say dot text equals current word. Name it temp02. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Player type text. I think this is gonna work how I think it's gonna work. I could be wrong. Yeah, because we subtract from the current word every time, right? Hopefully. So we just need to pass in a current word. Yeah. So what do we need? We need I guess when we enter the tree, we could just like wait a few seconds and then give her. No, we need some type of function from our like multiplayer. Let's make another button and that'll send it out. So let's do like a start round button. This will be start round. Start round. Okay. Start round, and we'll just whoops. Yeah, Kino Casino, I guess they're coming back tomorrow. You ever use any other editors like Cursor on your Godot project? I did use like VS Code for a while, but I kept getting those like instance, like those errors where it's like, do you have to reload from disk? And I was too smooth-brained to figure it out, so I was just like, fuck it, we're just gonna stick with Godot. And now if I bring Godot anywhere outside of Godot, I get lost, and I'm like, damn, where am I even at right now? So I like it being in its own little editor now. But yeah, so what was I gonna do? That's right, start round. We're gonna go node. When we press this button, we're gonna connect it to the multiplayer test, I guess. Yeah, split script screens, that would be really nice. It's just because like they fool you with this, right? They're like, oh man, you can bring this out, and then it's like, oh nice, well I'll just bring up the script again. Huh. Oh man. Oh thanks, just what I wanted. Yeah, if you could just instance another script right there, like this would be perfect. Like that's what everybody wants. So let me get some music going. Where is my techno playlist? There we go. Okay. What am I even trying to do? So I don't really know how multiplayer works. I'm kind of like just poking at shit and seeing what happens. When I start the round, what I'm trying to accomplish is that they both get sent something. They both get sent a string. Let me ask ChatGPT real quick. So if I have a player, if I have a host and a player, how do I send them a string of text at the same time? Oh yeah, my project helped. I'm glad. I didn't think anyone was gonna watch that video, and then it got like 100,000 views, and I was like, oh damn, that's pretty awesome. And then all my other views are like 200, 300. But yeah, I'm glad a lot of people like that one. I'm thinking about doing another one, and I'm thinking about doing like an introduction to Blender. I just haven't had time. That one took like a month, and I was like unemployed. I could just fuck around all day basically. Let's say the host is the server and you want to send banana peel to both players. Option A, RPC to call on all clients, including hosts. Alright, let me ask the regular internet and see what the regular internet says, because ChatGPT likes to make shit up. So we'll say, how do I send variables in Godot 4.4 multiplayer? Whoops. Yeah, there we go. So it is RPCs. RPCs allow you to call functions. Oh, that's another fucking AI. Awesome. Yeah, everything's just going to be AI slop in like 2 years. Great. Passing signals with data. Basics of multiplayer. That's an hour and... Oh no. Passing data to new players. I have which is a multiplayer spawner. Alright, let's see what you say. Looks like you got a lot of what I have. You create the server, we connect, adds the player, post.hide, join.hide. Those are their buttons, right? Yeah. So he literally has the exact same thing that I have. It contains the following strip. The add player is called by the host, so it will use the host username. Player.username. I don't even just add it like that. Obviously. Oh, maybe you can. That's not what I'm trying to do. So... The following explains the differences of high level and low level, blah 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 blah. I don't need any of that bullshit. How do I send a signal? Get the default multiplayer API object. Alright, cool. I know what an object is. Perfect. It's like a node, but not. The peer. We got the IP address, we got the port. Okay, I got that. That's the server. We do create a server, okay. This signal is emitted with a newly connected peer's ID on each peer. That's the one we connect. Cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like my camera. I've been trying to put some cool shit in the background. I've been thinking about putting the comments on the screen, but then it like obscures what I'm trying to do on the screen. RPC. Oh, let's try that. What are we doing? I literally just copy and pasted what he said. Func RPC notify. All right, and then I print here. So I would call this. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out and talk to people. At RPC. Okay, the annotation can take a number of arguments. Let's actually read what an RPC is. Remote procedure calls. Awesome. Remote procedure calls, or RPCs, are functions that can be called on other peers. To create one, use the RPC annotation before a function. At arts. Okay, yeah. Cool, so let me do this. I'm going to copy this. I think I understand I think I'm getting it. So if multiplayer is server, then we will, let me get rid of that. Actually, we're going to need that. We're going to say send string. Send string, and we need the thing up here, right? RPC. Yeah. And then we have to put in the arguments. Once per client, RPC. Oh no, we just need to call that. And then we need to rename this send string. So once we press that button, we'll evaluate if we are the server. If we are the server, then we will send the string, and I guess we need to what is action key? I guess we're just gonna call this string. We'll call it strang. And then we would put in something here, right? My string, or let's do fuck you. Fuck you. Where was it? Oh, do I still have that video pulled up? I did. I got this idea from this over here. Hold on.
Fuck you. Watch this. This will blow your fucking mind. Check this shit out. Look at that. See that? Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, whoever made this did a good job.
Fuck you. Now watch this. This will blow your fucking mind. Check this shit out. Look at that. See that? Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, but that was like what made me think, like, oh man, I should have two people clacking away at the keyboard, just like typing out insults at each other on the Godot game. That's gonna be awesome. Yeah, so alright, trying to send the string. I'm trying to understand everything that's going on. I will be printed to the console once per each connected client. The parameters and their function: authority, call remote, unreliable, 0. Only the multiplayer authority can call remotely. Transfer some input. Okay, so we're connected. If we are the server, I'm just trying to think. Maybe I can find a video. Hold on. This is starting to get me. I just don't know. How would I guess it will print my string right here, but how do I send it to the player? Mark the following method for remote procedure calls. Authority. How do we send in our authority, by the way? Alright, let me Google it. How to use RPC in Godot 4. Okay, so this is one I did watch. This is Ditzy Ninja Godot.
You can move your character around, type out and send a message that will appear above your character, or you can click on a character and it will display a message showing the ID of the player who clicked it.
Okay, that'll actually
I
help
have a starting
us.
project here. This and the completed project will be available in the... We'll also send the new PID with the RPC
I'm
to...
just going to kind of skip ahead a little bit.
for a node with the same path as the one that made the RPC.
You know, we're going to watch it on double
In the
speed.
join pressed event handler, the code will be mostly the same, except we'll create a client on the multiplayer peer. It takes the IP address of the host to connect to, as well as the port that host server is listening to. Character around. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this simple multiplayer game, where you can either host or join a server. You can move your character around, type out and send a message that will appear above your character, or you can click on a character and it will display a message showing the ID of the player who clicked it. I have a starting project here. This and the completed project will be available in the description below. We'll begin by heading into the script attached to the main scene. So I have a few things set up in this script. At the very top, an eNet multiplayer peer is created. This is an object that handles all the networking. Typically, this address will be the IP of another
yeah,
machine.
I do have, we already have both the characters in the same game, and I have their positions moving together. I just kind of copy and pasted, so now I'm actually trying to, I guess, learn a little bit.
But for development purposes, the client will connect to a server on the same computer, which can be achieved by using a loopback address. The standard loopback address is either localhost or 127.0.0.1. The number we use for the port isn't that important as long as it isn't reserved. Generally, the first 1024 ports are reserved, so anything above that should be safe. Next, there are two event handlers for the press signals of the host and join buttons. The host event handler sets the text of a label at the top of the window to server, and the join event handler sets it to client. Each then makes the menu invisible. Lastly, there is an event handler that runs when text is submitted to a line edit named message input at the bottom of the window. We'll start by creating a server. In the host pressed event handler, we'll tell the multiplayer peer to create a server. The first parameter is the port the server will listen to for incoming messages. Right now, the multiplayer peer is just an object in this script class. To tell the game that this is in charge of networking, we set it to the multiplayer peer property on the multiplayer API. Each multiplayer
Yeah, well, who was it earlier? Freak Show Jimmy's Crackhead Dungeon, he said it's like not intuitive, and I don't think it is that intuitive. The spawner and the other one seemed pretty intuitive. I was like, oh, it just spawns, and the other one's like, oh, dude, it syncs. But then it's like, the fuck is an RPC?
player peer on a network has a unique ID.
Let me just double check what I have. So, he called it multiplayer peer. So, eNet multiplayer peer. Okay, we are getting that. He is doing the same thing that we're doing right here. I'm just double checking.
I'll retrieve it by calling getUniqueID in the multiplayer API and display.
You'll do what now?
Right now, the multiplayer peer is just an object in this script class. To tell the game that this is in charge of networking, we set it to the multiplayer peer property on the multiplayer API. Each multiplayer peer on a network has a unique ID. I'll retrieve it by calling getUniqueID in the multiplayer API and display it using another label near the top of the window. Now let's create a client that can join the server. In the join pressed event handler, the code will be mostly the same, except we'll create a client on the multiplayer peer. It takes the IP address of the host to connect to, as well as the port that host server is listening to. I think it's important to point out here that you won't be able to connect to machines over the internet, only those on your local network. There is a pretty easy way to get around this, but that's a topic for another video. Now let's add some player characters. I have a player character scene set up already. Its script has a little bit of code in the physics process function that checks for WASD key presses that move it in 4 horizontal directions, as well as an event handler that runs when the character is clicked. The scene has two child label 3Ds flagged as billboards. One displays the name of the scene, and the other will display a message sent from the player controlling it. There's also an area 3D that detects mouse clicks. Back in the main script, let's create a function called addPlayerCharacter. Inside it, we'll instantiate a player character and add it to the main scene. Then we'll call this function right after the server is set up. Now the player hosting the server has a player character that it can control, but the client still needs one. There are a few signals on the multiplayer peer to help with this. 2 of them run on the client side, and the other 2 run on the server. The one we'll be using is peer connected. When a client connects to a server, the peer connected signal will be emitted with the client's unique peer ID. Let's connect a Lambda function to the signal, and inside it, we'll make a remote procedural call, or RPC. An RPC is a call.
Okay, let me check that out, because I might have to change that. So, do we even use that? We do use peer connected, and so we just pass in this function here. So is this kind of like a, this kind of reminds me of like a Lambda function, or like more like JavaScript shit, but I'm not really good with that stuff. But anyway, we're passing in a function, which is basically what we're doing on the other screen, but just in a simpler way. But we don't have an RPC.
That causes a function.
Let's just copy what he's doing. We're gonna butcher it all to hell. So instead of passing that, we're gonna make a brand new function and say func. Pass in the new, I guess it's an unnamed function. New peer ID. I guess we don't need it because we're executing it right here, is my understanding of this. RPC.
In another player's game to run. The network does this by searching remote peers for a node with the same path as the one that made the RPC and calling a specified function on it. The RPC will take the name of the function it's calling as a string. This RPC will connect the Lambda function to the signal, and inside it will make a remote procedural call, or RPC. An RPC is a call made over the network that causes a function in another player's game to run. The network does this by searching remote peers for a node with the same path as the one that made the RPC and calling a specified function on it. The RPC will take the name of the function it's calling as a string. This RPC will call a function called.
Hold on. Let me hear that one more time. That was what I was missing.
One we'll be using is peer connected. When a client connects to a server, the peer connected signal will be emitted with the client's unique peer ID. Let's connect a Lambda function to the signal, and inside it we'll make a remote procedural call, or RPC. An RPC is a call made over the network that causes a function in another player's game to run. The network does this by searching remote peers for a node with the same path as the one that made the RPC and calling a specified function on it. The RPC
Searching the nodes with the same path on the thing is called on, and then doing it on that thingy. That makes sense.
will take the name of the function it's calling as a string. This RPC will call a function called add newly connected player character. I'll define it below, and inside it, it will call the regular add player character function. In order for a function to be called remotely by another peer, it must have the @RPC annotation.
Okay, so I guess I'll update my script to do that, because we weren't really doing that. So what did he say? Add player character. Oh damn, he scrolled down too far, sorry. I'll bring it back on screen in a second. I just gotta make sure I write it. I gotta make sure I copy it right, so I pretend like I know what I'm doing. What I'm gonna do, you see, is copy his thing and then make a video on it and act like I'm a super smart guy and knew it all from the very beginning. Okay, so then we can get rid of this. I guess that's probably a bad practice to have that there. And then we have to do that. Unindent doesn't match. What do you mean? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Alright, is that what he's got over here? On host pressed. He's creating a server. He's passing in the port. Yeah, we're setting our multiplayer peer. And oh, you know what? That thing that I got rid of down here, he's actually already doing that add player character, so he's doing it above this. So he is making a character for the host, so let's go ahead and leave that in, and we'll put that there. Yeah, because I can see add player character right here, which is calling his other function. Yeah, I think it's breaking down stuff that syncs up versus what should be done in RPC. I have my server handling spells being cast right now, but the server had to do an RPC to the player casting. Damn. Yeah. I don't know, I guess we'll see. Let me slam some more coffee.
Add newly connected player character. I'll define it.
Did we do that? No, we did do that.
Below, and inside it, it will call the regular add player character function.
Add newly connected player character. I'm gonna let him finish writing this out. In order for a function to be called
remotely by another peer, it must have the @RPC annotation. I'm also going to make the code wait a second before making this RPC. I'm not sure if this is just a bug in Godot Alpha, but it seems like this signal is emitted before the peer is actually fully connected, and it still needs a second before it can start receiving remote procedural calls. Now,
okay, hold on. So let's go ahead and add in that line. Oh wait. Get tree dot create a damn timer, and on the timeout you can stop your waiting, and we'll come down.
But it seems like this signal is emitted before the peer is at RPC annotation.
Okay, let me copy this. I'm sure this is very fun to watch. what do we call it? Okay, so let's get rid of this for now. I just don't want that messing with anything. So send string. Okay. Fuck you. Yo, yo, yo. Oh, man. I can't even print yo right. Okay, so we need a func, what was it? Add newly connected player. Add, oh, we can just copy this because I have clumsy hands. Add newly connected player, and we'll say what? Add, it's just gonna be add player. Whoops, shit. Add player, awesome. And let's just make sure add player character. So what is he just? He's just instantiating, adding the child. So we're really not doing anything different. I'm going to leave a little note here saying this is not in Ditzy Ninja tutorial.
I'm also
Okay. Hold on. I gotta add newly connected player character. Okay, we're gonna go at RPC, and that's all he's got. Okay.
also going to make the code wait a second before making this RPC. I'm not sure if this is just a bug in Godot Alpha, but it seems like this signal is emitted before the peer is actually fully connected, and it still needs a second before it can start receiving remote procedural calls. Now when a client connects, the server will make an RPC to all previously connected players and tell them to add another player character, including the one that just connected. However, now each player will only have a character for themselves and clients that connect after them. Also, the server's player character is still totally alone. So first we'll give the server's player character some company by calling add player character in the peer connected lambda function. Also, let's create an array called connect.
Run that by me again. What in the fuck was he talking about? I completely zoned out there.
So first we'll give the server's player character some company by calling add player character in the peer connected lambda function. It's actually fully connected, and it still needs a second before it can start receiving remote procedural calls. Now when a client connects, the server will make an RPC to all previously connected players and tell them to add another player character, including the
Okay, let's give it a shot. We can go project. Do we have customized run? We got 2. All right, we'll run it and see if our shit still runs. We host 1. Bring them on down over here. Here's what we need to done type, and then we're going to join. And it looks like, oops. We can no longer move. We can still move this guy. However, we cannot be moving our other guy over here. So I messed something up, but we'll probably fix that in a minute. Yeah, it looks like we're doing something wrong. Alright, well, I'm not too worried about that. Alright, let's go back to... so why can't we move again? Basic player, the velocity, is multiplayer authority. I think what I'm gonna do is go back to here. So he didn't have this. This wasn't there. We're gonna try it without that and see what happens. And he's also not using call deferred. He's just using add child. But I think call deferred is the better way to do it, actually. So let's try that again. This one. So we'll host. We'll bring this. Whoops. join over here. I think I might have clicked something wrong actually. Let's try that again. Host. Yeah, now we can't move. And we go join. Now we can't move. So. What did I... RPC, add newly connected player character. That's getting added. We add the player. So now without the ID, none of us can move. So if I do this, hold on, let me ask ChatGPT something. Paste. What does this do to a variable I pass in? I pass in. Let's break it down. This is a function call with a keyword argument. The syntax means you're calling a function to add player and explicitly setting the parameter to 1. When you call add player, the value 1 gets assigned to the ID inside the function. It does not change any variable. Yeah, doesn't it like if you don't add anything to it, then it's gonna leave it at 1, but if you put something in there, then it's gonna give you something different, right? So I think when we do this, I need to pass in the peer ID. Am I missing that? Am I not understanding that?
One that just connected. However, now each player will only have a character for themselves and by calling add player character in the peer connected lambda function. Also, let's create an array.
Add player character in the lambda function. I guess we'll try it. We'll throw it in there. We'll see what happens. We'll host so we can move again because I undid that one line. Get out of here. Get out of here. And then we'll join. And can we move? We cannot. Debugger. I think it's gonna say, oh, we have 2 sessions. There we go. Unable to auto spawn node with reserved name, character body 2D at 2. Make sure to replicate your scenes. Add child node true to produce valid names. Okay. Add child player. Can I pass in true as well? Does that make that go to that function? I think it should, right? Force readable bool name. Let's try it. Yeah. And call deferred. Variance. Yeah. Host. Move him. And then join. And no movement. But if I move this guy, he still updates. We're not getting any red output anymore. But this guy's not updating anymore. So I want to do this. Add player. Let's just print the ID. I don't really understand. Player dot name, and we're just gonna say name. Cool. Yeah, let's run it again from the top. We'll say host. We'll move him over here, and then we'll go to join. Oh, so that's what I was thinking. The name is the same, and it's creating two. I think maybe my mouse might be a little fucked up. That could be part of it. Let me try not triple clicking the fuck out of it. Host. Okay. We go over here. We join. It's making two more. It's adding two more, and yeah, that's not good. Condition parent has node name. Damn. Yeah, I really don't understand. Let's get rid of that. We can get rid of that one. We need this one. Let me take a look at this documentation. Here's my selection. All right. Remote procedure calls. Once per each connected client. Print once per client.
Called connected PRIDs. Add a parameter to the add player character function for the However, now each player will only have a character for themselves and clients that connect after them. Also, the server's player character is still totally alone. So first we'll give the server's player character some company by calling add player character in the peer connected lambda function. Also, let's create an array called connected PRIDs. Add a parameter to the add player.
Why? Why would we add another player character here? We're doing one here. Oh, so we're connecting a... So that's every time... I get it now, okay.
Also, let's create an array called connected PRID.
var connected PRIDs, okay.
Add a parameter to the add player character function for the unique ID of the player.
Okay, so I was missing that.
This character is being added for, and inside the function append that ID to the array. We'll also have to update all the calls to this add player character function with the appropriate arguments. In the peer connected lambda, this argument will be new peer ID. Add newly connected player character will now take a new peer ID parameter, and that will be the argument for add player character.
Okay, I think that's probably what we were missing on some stuff. Okay, what did he do? Let's go a little forward. Peer ID, we need to add that to add player character. That's where we're actually spawning it. I'm just gonna go ahead and peer ID. That way we're not setting everything equal to fucking 1. I don't know what that was up with. So peer ID, cool, and then what do we do?
Character is being added for, and inside the function append that ID to the array. We'll also have to update all the calls to this add player character function with the appropriate arguments. In the peer connected lambda, this argument will be new peer ID.
New peer ID. New peer ID.
Add newly connected player character will now take a new peer ID parameter, and that will be the
add newly connected player character will now take a peer, a new peer ID, okay.
The argument for add player character.
And we will pass it in down here as well, because this is all making sense to me. I'm very smart. I understand all of this, of course.
Also send the new peer ID with the RPC to add newly connected player character. And in the call,
so he's saying in the RPC up here, new peer ID. Okay, Oakley dokley. Yo, I got into a shouting match with a fucking guy on the phone one time. When I bought my house, I had to replace the roof on it, and this guy tried to like completely fuck me over for like a really large amount of money on the roof. It was gonna be like triple what it was gonna cost, and I had like put down a deposit for this guy, and then I realized like, oh man, I can't. I got another estimate, and I'm like, damn, this guy's trying to fuck me over. So I call him back, and I'm like, I need my deposit and everything. And I just was yelling at this guy for like 30 minutes. And then I'm just like, Oakley dokley. And he got so pissed at that. And I was like, dude, I've been like calling you every name in the book, and that's the one that made you mad, is me saying like Oakley dokley. And I was like, where's my fucking money, dude? Like, just give me a check for the fucking money, and we're all good. Like, that's all. I can call you all fucking day. I did eventually get my check, so I was I was fucked, dude. Alright, what am I gonna do? Sorry, I completely distracted myself there. I needed a distraction. New peer ID, going into the bastard.
to add the server's player character, we'll put the server ID, or 1. Now after the
Add player character. So only in them servers and shit. Got that 1 up in there.
RPC to add newly connected player character, we'll make another. But this time you...
Good God, what in the fuck does that mean? Damn it, dude. I thought at this point I was just gonna... I was trying to pass a string, right? That's what I'm trying to do. And now I'm like... I guess we're rebuilding the internet over here. Like Al fucking Gore. RPC ID, new peer ID, add previously connected player characters, connected peer IDs. I'm assuming we're gonna have to make that function. Damn, well, okay, let's do it. RPC ID, we're gonna get this going. I don't have to work tomorrow, so I might be up all night. New peer ID, add previous, damn, that is a hard word to spell. Previously connected player characters. Okay, and then we gotta pass in the connected peer IDs, which is going to be an array, var equals an empty array. We have to append them as well. I forgot to do that, so don't we do that? Add player character. We're gonna do that here. So connected peer IDs dot append, and we're gonna say peer ID. Nice. What's the problem here? ID not declared. Yeah, because it's peer ID, dummy. You can't figure it out. Stupid computer. Alright. Where is my video? My cheat sheet?
using RPC ID. RPC ID only calls a function on a single peer with a specified unique ID. This RPC will be made to the newly connected peer.
Okay, so that actually makes sense. So let me write that down. This calls one RPC, one instance of RPC this be calling up everyone. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break real quick, and then I'll be back. This is pretty fun. Having a lot of fun here. This is pretty cool. Let's play some country music. Yeah, there we go. And I will be right back.
Oh mercy me, oh mercy mine. Down on my knees, I got my arms stretched to the sky. Trouble to the left of me, sorrow to the right. Can you hear me, Lord, and can you lead me to the light? I lift my voice, I call your name, as I toil down in this valley of strife and pain. I've been over backwards, paid it all forwards, don't have a dime to my name, and my debt to you could never be repaid. When the heat wave starts to break, and the ice and snow melts away, when the tears we've cried have all run dry, we find the rainbow's end, we'll be walking in the sunshine with him. Don't turn away, Lord, hear my cries. I need you to make up my bed when I die. Forgive me for the trespass. Can't you see I'm running out of time to make it well with my soul by and by? When the heat wave starts to break, and the ice and snow melts away, when the tears we've cried have all run dry, and we find the rainbow's end, we'll be walking in the sunshine with him. When the heat wave starts to break, and the ice and snow melts away, when the tears we've cried have all run dry, and we find the rainbow's end, we'll be walking in the sunshine, walking in the sunshine, walking in the sunshine with him. Oh mercy me, oh mercy mine. Oh mercy me, oh mercy mine. Oh mercy me, oh mercy mine.
All right. All right, fun shit. There's a thunderstorm going on outside. Okay, what are we doing? We need to get this shit going. Let me turn this fucking song off. There we go. All right. Oh my god, my other cat wants to come out, but he's gonna be a fucking menace. I can't let him out right now. Alright, let's see where are we at in this video.
Call a function that's named add previously connected player characters, and take connected PRIDs as an argument. The add previously connected players function will iterate through all of these IDs and add a player character for each one. It's important that this RPC is made before the server adds a new player character to itself, or else connected PRIDs will contain the ID for the newly connected peer as well, causing the newly connected peer to add another character for itself. Each instance of the game now has the correct amount of characters added, although they are overlapping in some instances and their positions are not synchronized across the network. You probably also noticed that they all move in unison on each instance. To fix this, we'll change the input to only run if the player character is a multiplayer authority. Is multiplayer authority will return true if the node's multiplayer authority matches the peer's unique ID. At first, this will cause none of the client players to be able to move any of their characters, and the server player will still be able to move all of them. This is because, by default, the multiplayer authority for all nodes on all peers is 1, or the server. We can change a node's multiplayer authority by calling set multiplayer authority on it. So we'll set it in the add player character function to the peer ID.
Okay, so that's what I was missing. I was like, dude, where you done be adding that shit? Add player character right under there. Set multiplayer authority. There we go. Did you do it after you added the kid? After the child? Let me put this on the other screen. Player character. Player.set multiplayer authority. We're gonna say peer ID. There we go. I think that's what we were missing. Let's run it now. We'll see what happens. Now that we've halfway implemented everything. We'll host one. Move him down over here. Join one. He spawns in, we move him down over here. We're still getting a double spawn on that, and I think that has to do with how we're doing something. Do they move in sync? So yeah, that one's moving. This one's moving. We just got a double spawn up there, but I'm actually like starting to understand how this shit works. It's starting to make a little bit of sense. I'm gonna forget it all tomorrow, but I'll have the stream to look back on. And this is a typing game. Uh-oh. It's coming for him. I wanted to see if they overlap the same. Now if I go on this screen, is this one going to overlap on that one, or is it going to go... Yeah. So now it's over top of that one. Interesting. Can we get them exactly in the same location? Yep. We can. We're fucking cool cat bad, dude. Alright, let's debugger, what is your problem? Alright, so let's keep going. Add newly connected player characters, new peer ID, new peer ID.
D
You already
parameter.
have that.
Now for each player, only the character with a multiplayer authority that matches the unique ID of the game instance it's running in will move. To synchronize these movements, we'll send an RPC from the character that is the multiplayer authority to its remote counterparts.
So instead of doing that, we used the what did you call it? Multiplayer synchronizer. Or is that the same thing? Let me ask ChatGPT. Is an RPC similar to a... What do we call that other thing? Multiplayer synchronizer. Multiplayer synchronizer. And when should I use which? They serve different purposes and have different use cases. Manual. Oh, well, have a good one, Art Day. I'm trying to hook up some network stuff, so if it works, I'll have like a pretty good implementation that people can just pull from on my GitHub. So, but yeah, dude, hope everything goes well at your college. College is like, you know, a whole fucking annoying thing you got to do. A manual call from one peer to the others over the network. Okay, let me reread this. Great question, and you're 100% right to ask, because this RPC and multiplayer synchronizer are both tools for network sync in Godot. Rob Schneider is the Godot, where they serve different purposes and have different use cases. Awesome. Custom remote function calls, keeping variables in sync. Okay, that makes sense. Remote procedure call, a manual call from one peer to the others over the network. Auto variable sync. Yeah. Yeah, I can only imagine what college is like now. I went like 5 years ago, so I'm sure it's a fucking just a bunch of fucking pain in the asses you got to deal with every day now. I'm sure it's much more expensive too. Even in like 5 years, I'm sure they jacked up the rates. Those fucking bastards. A node that you attach to another node like a player. Absolutely, and many games do. So yeah, I want to use the synchronizer to keep position and RPC chat message sent. Okay. Collage. Use multiplayer synchronizer for state. Use RPC for behavior. Yeah. Yeah, I remember just having to do a bunch of writing courses, and I was like, this is so fucking stupid, because I was like, at one point I think I just wrote like System of the Down lyrics in my paper, because I was like, I'm not going to write this fucking stupid paper that has nothing to do with anything. And I turned it in, and the guy gave me like a C+, and he like left a comment saying like, I like System of the Down. And I'm like, well, that's all it takes to get a C+ at this fucking school, like... You know, it's wide the fuck open, dude. This was like before ChatGPT took off. I think it was like a year before, basically. So you still had to write your own shit, it felt like. But, I mean, I would just write fucking garbage. Just nonsense words over and over again on the papers. And they'd be like, C, C+, C+. So it's like, they're just passing everyone, I felt like, at where I went. Female literature romance. That sounds pretty awful, yeah. What would male literature romance? It's just like Playboys. That'd be funny. Yeah, it's Playboys and like Berserk, and you get to smoke cigars and drink a little bit of whiskey. It's actually a pretty fun class. I actually spilt some syrup on my brother's Berserk comic, and he's gonna be pissed when he figures it out. It's one of the hardback ones, and I was using it to prop up a camera, and then I was eating some Eggos, and I spilt some syrup on it. All right. Alright, so I know the difference between RPC. RPC, let's see what he's doing in here. Let's take a look.
The function being called will be named remote set position and take the authority player character's position as a parameter. This function will then set the position of the node receiving the call to this authority position. @RPC annotations can also have parameters. A good parameter to have here is unreliable. An unreliable call might not reach its destination, and if it does, it might not be received in the same order that it was sent, but they are a lot faster. Since this call is being made 60 times a second, speed is important, and nobody will notice if a few packets are lost or out of order. Before this will work, there's just one last thing we have to change. Like I said before, the network will search for nodes with the same path as the one making the RPC. When player character scenes are instantiated, they're given a weird name with @symbols and a number, and this name will be part of the scene's path. Because of this, an authority player character might have a different name than its remote counterpart, or the same name as one that it shouldn't be setting the position of. An easy way to fix this is by setting each player character's name to its multiplayer authority. And now all this movement's working as expected. To add the ability to display messages above characters across the network, I'll create another function called display message, which takes a
This is kind of what I want to do, right? I think so. We're finally going to display that string that we've been trying to do for like 2 hours now. Let me go back to the past. All right. At RPD, Raccoon City Police Department. Funk display message. We're gonna funk it up, and we're gonna say we're actually gonna say send message. Send message, and we also have to have our massage, or we're sending here. You know, there is a sketchy massage place like fucking like 5 minutes up the road from me, and it says massages like $49 an hour, and then it's one of those places where they have like all the fucking curtains down in the front. Looks ghetto as fuck, super sketchy. Right next door they sell like bongs and shit, and then like next to that it's like some indiscriminate office building that no one ever goes into. It's like, oh yeah, this is a good area, nice. Okay, so message.text. Okay, so all we have to do, so we already have that in our player. Is this in our player? This is in our player. So we have to get rid of, hold on, let me redo this real quick. Let me take a look at that. I think he's doing that in our player.
His name to its multiplayer authority. And now all this movement's working as expected. To add the ability to display messages above characters across the network, I'll create another function called display message, which takes a parameter that it sets to the character's message label 3D.
Okay, so we are in the player. So we're in the player here. So I gotta move this to the player, and we'll go, and then we're gonna call that RPC on the player. Nice. So we can actually do this. We're gonna say funk. We're going to, instead of send message, we're gonna say update current word. Current word, and then we're going to say cur word equals incoming word, and we're going to change that to incoming word, and have we mastered this skill? Can I go back to the other thing and figure the fuck out, dude? I don't know. I thought about that for the name of a gaming company. Figured the fuck out, dude, gaming, which I think would be really cool. It's a reference to Only Use Me Blade, because every time he would be drunk, you'd have the vape in this hand and the beer in the other, and he would just be like, figured the fuck out, dude. I thought that was the funniest thing. I thought that was just so great. Okay. So we're gonna call this, how do I done call this fucking thing? Yeah.
Script, I'll take the text submitted by the message input line edit, and from here make an RPC on the locally controlled character that is the multiplayer authority. There's just one problem though. We don't have an easy way of figuring out which one that is from the main script. So let's first create a variable called local player character. Then in the add player character function, we'll check if the peer ID of the character being added matches the unique ID of this peer. If so, we'll set the character to this variable.
What happens if I get rid of this? Don't we have to check if it's the on host pressed? Let me just see where we're at right now. So we can press the host. We'll move him down. press in join, and we'll move him over. Trying to figure out where that third one's coming from. And I'm pretty sure it's this this line right here. So what happens if I get rid of this? And I host. We don't get a host in there. Okay. And then if I join, well, I can't host and join. So if I join, looks like I got one now, and so that one's showing up there. Interesting. So we do need that. Can we do this? If is isn't it like is server? Can we do like yeah, can we do like if peer dot is server and check if it's a server? I guess not. Let me take a look at the video again.
And I'll make the line edit blank and no longer have focus after the text is submitted. Function with the appropriate arguments. In the peer connected lambda, this argument will be new peer ID. Add newly connected player character will now take a new peer ID parameter, and that will be the argument for add player character. We'll also send the new peer ID with the RPC to add newly connected player character. And in the call to add the server's player character, we'll put the server ID, or 1. Now after the
XP. What are you talking about, XP? Oh, the XP thing on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's a new function. I saw that today because I was like chatting in some streams, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely not going to add anything to it. It seems really stupid.
RPC to add newly connected player character, we'll make another, but this time using
fuck.
Of your character, or you can click on a character and it will display a message showing the ID of the player who clicked it. I have a starting project here. This and the completed project will be available in the description below. We'll begin by heading into the script attached to the main scene. So I have a few things set up in this script. At the very top, an eNet multiplayer peer is created. This is an object that handles all the networking. Typically this address will be the IP of another machine, but for development purposes the client will connect to a server on the same computer, which can be achieved by using a loopback address. The standard loopback address is either localhost or 127.0.0.1. The number we use for the port isn't that important as long as it isn't reserved. Generally the first 1024 ports are reserved, so anything above that should be safe. Next there are two event handlers for the press signals of the host and join buttons. The host event handler sets the text of a label at the top of the window to server, and the join event handler sets it to client. Each then makes the menu invisible. Lastly, there is an event handler that runs when text is submitted to a line edit named message input at the bottom of the window. We'll start by creating a server. In the host pressed event handler, we'll tell the multiplayer peer to create a server. The first parameter is the port the server will listen to for incoming messages. Right now the multiplayer peer is just an object in this script class. To tell the game that this is in charge of networking, we set it to the multiplayer peer property on the multiplayer API. Each multiplayer peer on a network has a unique ID. I'll retrieve it by calling getUniqueID in the multiplayer API and display it using
did we do that? I don't think we did that. On host press multiplayer peer dot create server. All right, and then we have to say multiplayer dot get unique ID. All right. Well, he's just setting the text. We don't really have
another
to do
label
that.
near the top of the window. Now let's create a client that can join the server. In the join pressed event handler, the code will be mostly the same, except we'll create a client on the multiplayer.
And on join pressed, I guess I'm just gonna double check that. on join pressed, create client. We set the multiplayer. And yeah, he's basically just doing that. There is some other text down here, but that's just setting some text in his shit. That's setting some text. All we're really doing is what I have, those two lines. So I have those two lines. We're on the same port. We're on the right thing. Yeah.
Player peer. It takes the IP address of the host to connect to, as well as the port that host server is listening to. I think it's important to point out here that you won't be able to connect to machines over the internet, only those on your local network. There's a pretty easy way to get around this, but that's a topic for another video. Now let's add some player characters. I have a player character scene set up already. Its script has a little bit of code in the physics process function that checks for WASD key presses that move it in 4 horizontal directions, as well as an event handler that runs when the character is clicked. The scene has 2 child label 3Ds flagged as billboards. One displays the name of the scene, and the other will display a message sent from the player controlling it. There's also an area 3D that detects mouse clicks. Back in the main script, let's create a function called add player character. Inside it,
Alright, let's try to add child without the, we're going to copy what he's
we'll
got.
instantiate a player character and add it to the main scene. Then we'll call this function right after the server is set up. Now the player
So right after the server is set up, you add the player
hosting
character.
the server has a player character that it can control, but the client still needs one. There are a few signals on the multiplayer peer to help with this. 2 of them run on the client side and the other 2 run on the server. The one we'll be using is peer connected. When a client connects to a server, the peer connected signal will be emitted with the client's unique peer ID. Let's connect a Lambda function to the signal, and inside it we'll make a remote procedural call, or RPC. An RPC is a call made over the network that causes a function in another player's game to run. The network does this by searching remote peers for a node with the same path as the one that made the RPC and calling a specified function on it. The RPC will take the name of the function it's calling as a string. This RPC will call a function called add newly connected player character. I'll define it below, and inside it will call the regular add player character function. In order for a function to be called remotely by another peer, it must have the @RPC annotation. I'm also going to make the code wait a second before making this RPC. I'm not sure if this is just a bug in Godot Alpha, but it seems like the signal is emitted before the peer is actually fully connected, and it still needs a second before it can start receiving remote procedural calls. Now when a client connects, the server will make an RPC to all previously connected players and tell them to add another player character, including the one that just connected. However, now each player will only have a character for themselves and clients that connect after them. Also, the server's player character is still totally alone. So first we'll give the server's player character some company by calling add player character in the peer connected Lambda function. Also, let's create an array called connected peer IDs, add a parameter to the add player character function for the unique ID of the player this character is being added for, and inside the function append that ID to the array. We'll also have to update all the calls to this add player character function with the appropriate arguments. In the peer connected Lambda, this argument will be new peer ID. Add newly connected player character will now take a new peer ID parameter, and that will be the argument for add player character. We'll also send the new peer ID with the RP.
Add newly connected player character. Let me go here. Yeah, add newly connected player character. We're going to add the new peer ID.
To add newly connected player character. And in the call to add the server's player character, we'll put the server ID, or 1. Now after the RPC to add newly connected player character, we'll make another, but this time using RPC ID. RPC ID only calls a function on a single peer with the specified unique ID. This RPC will be made to the newly connected peer, call a function that's named add previously connected player characters, and take connected peer IDs as an argument.
Okay, so that's just adding in the players that weren't there previously. Did we already do that? Add previously connected players. So we never made that. That's probably why we're having some some issues. We need to make that function, of course. I got distracted telling tales of bullshit. And what are we gonna do in this? Add previously connected player characters.
The add previously connected players function will iterate through all of these IDs and add a player character for each one.
So all he's got is for peers in peer IDs. We are going to add player It says add player. Yeah. Yeah, add player. And we gotta add the peer. Peer ID. So let me go for peer ID in peer IDs, and we're passing in peer IDs S. There we go. So we add player. Nice. That's pretty good. So we didn't have that before. That was probably
IDs
not
and add a
great.
player character for each one. It's important that this RPC is made before the server adds a new player character to itself, or else connected peer IDs will contain the ID for the newly connected peer as well, causing the newly connected peer to add another character for itself. Each instance of the game now has the correct amount of characters added, although they are over.
Host. Come on, you can do it. You can spawn the right amount of characters. I'll go over here and join. Hell yeah. No, you fucker. Worthless fuck. I can't believe you. I can't believe you'd spawn a third one up there. Who would do such a thing? That's not great.
Overlapping in some instances, and their positions are not synchronized across the network. You probably also notice that they all move in unison on each instance. To fix this, we'll change the input to only run if the player character is a multiplayer authority. Is multiplayer authority will return true.
Are we checking that? If I go back to my basic player, yeah, we're checking the multiplayer authority and we're setting it in the enter tree. This might not be the right way to do it. I guess we might be doing it at a different, I don't know. We'll see. We might have to do it before that.
If the node's multiplayer authority matches the peer's unique ID. At first, this will cause none of the client players to be able to move any of their characters, and the server player will still be able to move all of them. This is because, by default, the multiplayer authority for all nodes on all peers is 1, or the server. We can change a node's multiplayer authority by calling set multiplayer authority on it.
How did... on my YouTube channel, there's actually a detailed explanation. It's called, Balding's Gate. Yeah, I have like a download for Gumlink for Gumroad, but a quick explanation is basically in the 3D, if you have the first world, you can either just add a raycast into your camera or like code a raycast in, and then, I can't remember. No, you click somewhere and then it's like you shoot a raycast from your camera to the point where your mouse clicks on the screen. There's like I had to Google how to do it. I can't remember it. But then you basically get that point in space, whatever you clicked on, if you have the object on a collision layer with that raycast. But I have this video. Hold on, I'm gonna plug one of my YouTube videos, youtube.com. Let me see if I can find my video. View your channel videos. So I have. Yeah. It's this one right here. Simple Baldur's Gate movement in Godot 4. So if you Google that one, it'll show you how to do it. Yeah, and then there's also a Gumroad link. I have like $7 on my Gumroad because people donated, and it keeps calling me to make an account, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. For like $7, I'm not hooking up my bank account to your Gumroad thing. No, thank you. Yeah, no problem. Then you might have to put your raycast on a different collision layer, or the terrain, or vice versa. I guess. I don't know. I'd have to look at it. I have no fucking idea. I can't even get this shit to work. What is the issue?
So we'll set it in the add player character function to the peer ID parameter. Now for each player, only the character with a multiplayer authority that matches the unique ID of the game instance it's running in will move.
You know what? It's gotta be, somewhere in here, right? The reason that we're getting a second one. Well, it is waiting 1 second. Get tree, RPC. Do we still need... I don't think we need this down here anymore. Right? Because this should be doing it. Whoops. Get out of here, you fucking... alright. We have our host. We move this. We go over here. We get join. Yep, that was it. Okay, cool. I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on. I was like, I know we're getting an extra guy. I just don't understand why. And then if I go back over here, I can still move. But it doesn't bring him over here. What the fuck? Oh, but that's probably part of the one that I'm coding right now. That's probably why it's all fucked up and shit. Alright, let's keep it going. Add previously connected players, that's why. Yeah. So that's right, I need to continue my copying, continue my thievery.
To synchronize these movements, we'll send an RPC from the character that is the multiplayer authority to its remote counterparts. Multiplayer authority, and the multiplayer authority will return true if the nodes. The add previously connected players function will iterate.
Add player character. Add previously connected player characters. What was the issue? Unable to get the RPC configuration. That's right, because we never put the at RPC. Hell yeah. Now it should run. We're too cool for school now. Alright, we'll move him. We'll join in. The other one's gonna spawn. They're both moving. And there's another fucking guy up there. Damn it. And then he's not spawning over there. Anyway. We're getting closer. Add player. And let's see, I mean, that is what we're doing up here.
Right through all of these ideas. Player character will make another, but this time using RPC ID. RPC ID only calls a function on a single peer with the specified unique ID. This RPC will be made to the newly connected peer.
Oh, are we doing that? I don't think we're doing that. We are doing that. New peer ID, new peer ID. Yeah, okay, we are doing that.
Call a function that's named add previously connected player characters and take connected peer IDs as an argument. The add previously connected players function will iterate through all of these IDs and add a player character for each one. It's important that this RPC is made before the server adds a new player character to itself, or else connected
add player character.
Peer IDs will contain the ID for the newly connected peer as well, causing the newly connected peer to add another character for itself. To add another character for itself, causing the newly made before the server adds a new player character to itself. Previously connected players function will iterate through all of these IDs and add a player character for each one. It's important that this RPC is made before the server adds a new player character to itself, or else connect.
It's important that that is made before it does this, otherwise it'll add another one to itself, so that might have been the missing ingredient right there. Okay. Debugger 130. Not a big deal. Not a big deal.
Connected peer IDs will contain the ID for the newly connected peer. peer as well, causing the newly connected peer to add another character for itself. Each instance of the game now has the correct amount of characters added, although they are overlapping in some instances and their positions are not synchronized across the network. You probably also noticed that they all move in unison on each instance. To fix this, we'll change the input to only run if the player character is a multiplayer authority. Is multiplayer authority will return true if the node's multiplayer authority matches the peer's unique ID. At first, this will cause none of the client players to be able to move any of their characters, and the server player will still be able to move all of them. This is because, by default, the multiplayer authority for all nodes on all peers is 1, or the server.
So
we can
set
change a
the
node's multiplayer authority by calling set
We already
multiplayer
did
authority
that.
on it. So we'll set it in the add player character function to the peer ID parameter. Now for each player, only the
Let's see, do we have that? Pretty sure we do. Yeah, player.set multiplayer authority. So this is different. He's just doing add child. So why don't we just try add child. Add child player. Let's try that. I don't think that should make any difference at all. We'll move him off to the side. We'll go over here and we'll join in. And yeah, we got another guy spawning up there for whatever reason. However, we can still move and those guys act together. So that tells us the code that's causing it's gotta be yeah. The idea was for there to be like a typing battle between people, so you could like typing. So it is for the typing game, yeah. What is this error? Has node. Condition parent has node name. Okay, so that's probably on our spawner, right? Maybe I shouldn't have anything. Oh, the auto spawn list. Let's get rid of that. We probably shouldn't be doing that, right? The typing game's not really finished. We have I just kind of got bored of doing level design, and I wanted to try and do some real quick networking. I thought that would go real fast. We made this guy yesterday. I think you were here a little bit. We made this like enemy guy. We made a boss, but no, it's not really finished. I guess I could really like call it finished, just finish up the typing here and the typing there, and then like put the enemies there. But yeah, I wanted to make a different mode, and I just wanted to try some networking. I have tomorrow off, so I might as well do something fun. But what was the problem here? Okay, that's right. Yeah, the spawn limit. Let's try all that again. Maybe that was causing some issues. Host. We move them over. Join. No, it's still getting the other one. And then the automatic spawning isn't happening over here. So it looks like we need that, whatever the hell that is. Oh, I guess it needs to know what it can spawn. Does it tell you what it is? If you hover it, it does not. Real quick networking. Yeah, it's real easy. You just jump in there. You put a couple curl commands in there. You should be good to go. That's what I thought. That's what everyone's been saying. I saw the 4-minute video and I was like, oh, dude, it's a little 4-minute video. How bad can it be? Yeah, so we are setting the multiplayer authority. We have our peer ID, we're passing that in. All that seems to be correct. What have we done gots to do? Don't make no sense.
The character with a multiplayer authority that matches the unique ID of the game instance it's running in will move. To synchronize these movements, we'll send an RPC from the character that is the multiplayer authority to its remote counterparts. The function being called will be named remote set position and take the authority player character's position as a parameter. This function will then set the position of the node receiving the call to this authority position. Add RPC annotations can also have parameters. A good parameter to have here is unreliable. An unreliable call might not reach its destination, and if it does, it might not be received in the same order that it was sent, but they are a lot faster. Since this
so where are we at? Did I fuck this thing all up now? I think this was better, and then I think having, we had to fix that, okay. So, where is that third guy coming from? It's got to be calling this Control F. Add newly connected player.
call is being made 60 times a second. Speed is important, and nobody will notice if a few packets are lost or out of order. Before this will work, there's just one last thing we have to change. Like I said before, the network will search for nodes with the same path as the one making the RPC. When player character scenes are instantiated, they're given a weird name with @ and a number, and this name will be part of the scene's path. Because of this, an authority player character might have a different name than its remote counterpart, or the same name as one that it
This is 4.2 years ago. Oh no. 1 year ago. Over the internet the easy way. Damn. Well, I think for now I'm gonna have to go eat something because I'm like fucking starving. But thanks everyone for showing up. We'll get some more going, and I'll probably come back. But for now.